Levitt wanted to become an English teacher as early as 4th grade. In Mark's professional biography, he stated, "Not being an outstanding student, I was often bewildered by the large number of students, often with much better grades, who would seek my aid in many classes. They would often tell me, 'It's clearer when you explain it.' Perhaps the future teacher in me was obvious to my friends. I never objected, for I found the teaching of material to be fun." He spent a short time at Green River High School and was respected by peers and students and truly loved by his students. Mark took a position in Green River teaching in the fall of 1986. He taught freshman and sophomore English for Green River High School plus speech classes. Green River asked him to create a successful speech program. His hope was in 5 years to build a forensics team, which would become a strong state program. It soon became an award-winning accomplishment. Green River won second place at state in his third year and with the team, and third place his final year of teaching. This program was immensely popular, attracting 200 enthusiastic students in his last year. Under his leadership, 20 qualified for the National Forensic League tournaments. At one was Kelly Lawson. She placed 5th in the nation in poetry in San Jose, California. Mark's ability to encourage and inspire drew students from all areas of interest and made dedicated forensic competitors of them all. As a former student said, quote, "He managed to take students from all walks, athletes, drill team, theater and music students, geeks, cool kids, angry tough kids, scared shy kids, and everyone in between, and with the team spirit, commitment, and drive to excel both personally and as a group." In the English classroom, Mark's laid-back and humorous teaching style had a rigor that challenged his students at a consistently high level. His value as an educator was recognized when he received the honor of being chosen Wyoming State Teacher of the Year in 1989. Mark commented, quote, "What keeps my teaching viable is my belief that what I do makes a difference. It isn't just words. I do impact students' futures. What I do and what I believe is all one package." Congratulatory letters were received from U.S. Senators and Governor Mike Sullivan. Mark also received a nomination as a Greater Teacher from the University of Chicago from previous students, stating he was nominated for being an outstanding teacher who really made a difference, and he knew how to channel a student's private interest into avenues for significant personal growth. Mark contracted cancer within a year of arriving in Green River. Mark was given a death sentence from the beginning of his diagnosis, but he chose to continue to teach until the end. He said he would not live longer than 3 months, but survived doing what he loved, teaching for 3 more years. Mark taught from a wheelchair with a brain tumor with a substitute teacher on hand in his classroom in the case that something would happen to him. Through his teaching, many hearts of students were touched, and he received hundreds of letters from past students, including a former student by the name of David Hahn, who wrote this letter to Mark after hearing of his diagnosis of cancer.
Dear Mark, I am very sorry to hear that you are sick. My sorrow comes both from sadness for you and your family, and also from sadness for the future students who won't have the benefit of your direct influence on their lives. You were easily both my favorite teacher and the most influential teacher I had in high school, and in many ways one of the most influential teachers that I ever had. Why? Well, you treated me like a peer. You expected me to do what I was capable of. You encouraged me to follow my dreams, and I will always remember the many gifts you gave to me, mostly hidden parts of myself waiting to be released. It is important for you to know that your influence will continue even after you are no longer here to personally wield it. I have a teenage stepson, and I have served as an adult advisor for teenage groups in Boy Scouts and at church, and I have always done my best to consciously model my attitude toward the youth after your attitude toward me when I was that age. I did my best to have the same sort of positive effort on them that you had on me, and I think I have been successfully passing your legacy in my own way based on the feedback I have gotten. You will always live on in the hearts of your students. I'm sure that provides little comfort, but I'm afraid it's the best that I can offer. I will miss you. Somehow, even though we have had little contact over the years, the world has seemed more complete knowing that you were there. Thank you, David Hahn.
I graduated from Green River in 1993. I'm now the Director of Forensics at North Dakota State University. It is in this way that I share the gift that Mark Levitt gave to me. His gift was not debate, oration, the things I now teach. It was a legacy of love, incomprehensible strength, and belief in his students. In every moment that I spend with my team, every time I look at them, I see Mark Levitt and feel his presence in my life. As I love my team, I teach in his legacy, and this remarkable man continues to touch the lives of a new generation of students.
Kristen Reeling-Gassaway, former Green River student, said even after he was diagnosed and received treatment for cancer, he came to school to instruct, but more importantly, to inspire us. He never complained and always put the needs of students first. He is one of the reasons I became a teacher.
When I was a junior in high school, I ran frantically to Mr. Levitt, crying because I had no idea what I wanted to be when I got out of high school. He asked me what my interests were, and I told him I loved the English language and I loved helping people, but I didn't want to be an English teacher. He said, "Why don't you look into speech pathology?" And that planted the seed in my brain to pursue speech-language pathology as a career. Mr. Levitt affected all of us so greatly and on so many levels, and I'm so happy to have said that he was in my life for 4 great years, 4 hard years, high school.
Mark was heard to say, "What reward can mean more than to know your life has made a difference to others? Every time I see the aha of a student discovering some truth, I know I have succeeded even more. Even ill, those moments continue to pull me into the classroom. Each discovery means that much more to me as well as the students." Indeed, it is true. The teacher does make the difference, but the difference is for the teacher as well as the student. "Live your life like there is no tomorrow," was often heard by Mark Levitt. On September 10, 1990, the last conversation Mark had was with a young woman calling to ask him questions about his teaching style and philosophy for her dissertation. This was an appropriate final conversation regarding his great love of teaching. Mark Levitt passed away on September 12, 1990. Please welcome Mark Levitt, 2011 inductee, Green River Hall of Fame.